Hey all, Circle of Dark Mother, Mark speaking. Today we're going to talk about Lilith's aspects and names. Aspects. I recently did a video on Lilith and her masks. That video focused on the fact that Lilith is not a simple deity that only comes in one type of energy and personality. She is multifaceted based on her centuries of worship and focus in human culture. In that previous video, I discussed how the energy you put out is what determines how Lilith comes to you. That is absolutely true. However, you may also use a particular name and aspect in your work to draw the emanation you are looking for. Aspects or masks are iterations of Lilith that were forged in different time periods by different cultures. At the core is the supernal integrated goddess Lilith. But just as we take up roles in life, Lilith can be accessed in various forms. There are as many forms of Lilith as can be imagined, and even someone calling the same name and energy as someone else may get a different result. This is because we are all different, and Lilith comes as she will. I will cover a few of the aspects I work with as examples. So, Lilitu. Lilitu is the ancient Mesopotamian night goddess. Her name in Sumerian was Kamaji, obviously spelled very differently, but some of their symbols actually represent placeholders, and that's why it's Kamaji. Lilitu is in Assyrian means moon wind and points to her association with night and storms. She is also associated with passion and sexuality. When I call upon Lilitu, I focus on the ancient goddess from Mesopotamia, the lands of Sumer, Akkad, Assyria, and Babylon. I see her as Middle Eastern and call upon her name, Lilitu. When I work with this aspect of the Dark Mother, I use lapis lazuli, carnelian, and obsidian as the principal items of symbolism because those stones were considered holy in Mesopotamia. Lapis was the night sky, carnelian symbolized blood and fire, and obsidian the underworld. This aspect is a goddess and must be visualized and treated as such with all reverence and devotion that she deserves. Lilith. For me, Lilith is the Jewish demoness aspect of Lilith. Lilith is the mother of demons and the succubus aspect of Lilith. She also manifests as the even darker Aishad Zunanim, the holy prostitute demon, and Agrat Bat Malat, the darkest of Lilith's aspects. When I call upon Lilith, I focus on her rage and her chaotic energy. I see her as a demonic goddess who cannot be tamed or controlled in any way. When I work with this aspect of the Dark Mother, I usually use mostly black and red colored items. I offer her alcohol and sometimes blood. The knife I use when working with her is a sickle to symbolize death. I also use dark crystals such as smoky quartz. I only call upon Lilith in magic of severity or shadow work. She can be chaotic and unpredictable, yet she will seek out our best outcome if we are seeking transformation, although it will be a bumpy ride to get there. Naama. Naama is called a demon and succubus, but she was also said to be the sister of Tubal-Cain and, according to the Quran, the wife of Noah. She is also said to be the woman who tempted the Watchers into their fall. I consider her the once incarnate manifestation of Lilith. I primarily work with her in matters of love, passion, and earth. When I call upon Ne'ama, I focus on her aspect of once being incarnate, the fact that her name means pleasant because she is beautiful, and her passionate nature. When I work with this aspect of the Dark Mother, I tend to use red, purple, and green items because of their association with passion, royalty, and earth. A pentacle is a focus that I bring into ritual to symbolize her. I offer Neama wine, flowers, and perfume. It is important to recognize her flaming desire and passion as the key element of her nature. Noria. Noria is the physical Gnostic emanation of the dark Sophia wisdom. She is mentioned in Gnostic texts as a fiery figure who argues with Noah, burns down the ark, and battles evil archonic forces. Her name also means pleasant, but in Coptic instead of Hebrew. She is very much like Neama, yet distinctly Gnostic in her path of enlightenment. When I call upon Nordia, I focus on the path of enlightenment and liberation of the soul. Working with this aspect of the Dark Mother, I use clear quartz and flame. Noria can be fierce, but her goal is always to bring enlightenment for the practitioner. She will force change at all costs, even if it may burn a bit. Dark Mother Lilith. When I call upon Lilith, I am picturing the supernal integrated Lilith, who has been all the previous aspects and is now whole as one eternal goddess. She is the dark mother goddess who is mother to all, whether light or dark. She is a goddess of transformation and change. Lilith is the primary focus of my work and devotion because I believe transformation is the most important outcome of my path and magic. When I call upon her, I'm reaching out to the being who has no beginning or end, but has been a part of human myth and religion for over 5,000 years. She is my mother goddess. The trappings I use for Dark Mother Lilith are not important. I may use any that I use with other aspects, but the focus is refined and centered completely on transformation. I offer Lilith myself, my time, and devotion. She wants nothing else. As I close this video, I want to reiterate that these are the aspects and names I work with. What you call her and how you see her will be up to you, your consciousness, and your energy. And of course, her will, because she does what she wants. Thank you. Hopefully that was interesting, and I'll be back with more.